Orianna's
consideration.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Oh, this is cool.
Okay, Senna Kench just later in the draft this time.
Yep.
And it's a Gragas that was flexed now into the top lane, and it's a very safe blind pick. I mean, you don't think of very many champions as being hard counters to the Gragas. And once again, we're going to see the Sion come through. It feels like KT are pushing back towards game number 1 stylistically here. Very difficult to execute. I mean, well, I would not say that's true in general, but for them it was very difficult to execute in game 1. That's always the question with KT in round 2, isn't it?
Yep, it certainly is. Gideon as well. Is he going to have a better performance on the horse this time around? And Kellen, now that he has the Alistar, will he be able to pull out another player of the game performance and bring his team towards the playoffs? It's much less difficult as out goes the horse. That is a surprise party pony right there as he gets headbutted underneath the turret. There is, of course, a Devour available for him as Kellen almost goes down, but does manage to survive in the end. Doctor didn't even have flash available, but he's like, Renekton does this? Yeah, well, I'm Grag. It's even better. As Peanut dives on over, Gideon in perfect position as the teleport comes down. Doctor flashes, ults to get himself out of the way, but Kellen, the will is more breakable than he hoped. And that's a kill going over to Dove once again. First blood, teleport bottom lane.
This is really tough for Nongshim. Like, I don't think you can take this fight. They're going to try for it.
Yeah, Peanut's giving it a red-hot go. As fight on a couple of fronts here, but Kellen, he's going to get poked out. Noah actually doing a fair bit of damage as the Devour. Beautifully timed. The ultimate comes through from Kellen, but he's getting chunked down. Rich turns up, Doran does too. Dawning Shadow not quite enough there, as Kellen still has the ult for a little while longer. As, oh my goodness, everyone piling on to the Orianna as she tries to flash over the wall. Unsuccessful, and Gideon wastes no time getting onto this Cloud Drake.
I mean, Nongshim really wanted to fight this. They were out of position. They were not in a good place to take the fight, but they just forced it anyways, and now they're paying for it.
Yeah, in goes Doran, just executes Doctor. Now looking for Rich. He's not going to go down. However, KT easily take this one down. There's the Mountain Soul that you were looking for there, Wolf.
There it is. Not allowed to do damage in the fight unless the fight's over. Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Doctor tries to ult himself out. Does successfully escape for now as the turret got very angry with Dove. Shockwave going to come in, pulls him back. And that's going to be Bay locking down that kill. Doctor almost dies as the Dawning Shadow. And Bay's not quite there just yet. It should be an advantage for KT as Gideon wants to try and get in here, make it a 50-50. Peanut locks down the Drake. Teleport comes in. There's a Shockwave onto 2, but not exactly 2 priority targets as now Doran has his pick of the litter of where he throws down the barrel. Kellen gets into the backline and Rich surviving for so long. It's just the tanks that they're focusing KT. No, that's not what we wanted as Doctor gets into the backline and Peanut says, nah, sorry, mate. This is how it's done. Actually not, to be perfectly honest, but Bay, he's the one now chasing down the members of KT, locks up Doran, the Tahm Kench is also dead, and look, I don't know whether we blessed it or cursed it, Wolf, but Nongshim are walking towards the Baron.
I think the Earth. Looks like they're going to give this up and push mid instead.
This is actually kind of cute. With the fact that KT did have such a good position, it means that Nongshim decided they want to take an inner turret instead of risking it, and they throw Peanut in there to try to steal away the Drake. He does still have flash available. Oh no, just barely doesn't have the flash. Is now Rich off to the side. I can't believe they just let Peanut chill there for that entire time. The rest of Nongshim now trying to rotate over as Kellen is going to get turned on. Not exactly the target they want to hit as he gets thrown back into the team. Man Protect comes through, Dawning Shadow doesn't really do too much as now Sion takes the front line once again. Shockwave onto 3 is fantastic. Peanut now getting towards the front line, but KT are tanky too. It's so hard. Well, Gideon, he's going to get slowed down. There's the onslaught of Shadows, unable to be interrupted there by the headbutt as Gideon brings Peanut back. Can he survive this? It looks like the answer might be no as Doctor comes on in. Peanut is taken down, and now the Kai'Sa completely out of position. Goes golden, but there are so many Sand Soldiers, and it's a double kill for Noah. In comes the Drake. Perfect timing for KT. This is what their comp is supposed to do.
This is what their comp is supposed to do, and now they're going to get this second Mountain Drake at this moment in time. And this is, 30 minutes of the game now. KT Rolster in a position where they might be able to threaten inhibitors with this Baron buff, which is going to give them control of the map to take that potentially soul, the Mountain Soul there. So this is a huge turning point in this game. They need to win.
Yeah,
they win both.
Doran, he's looking like he has no fear whatsoever. Rich getting chunked now. He does get himself a big shield. There's the cast to come in, but Rich Still sitting above half health. He's able to tank for a very long time, as you can see.
But he has
finally
to flash.
flashes.
Yeah, he has to flash here. On Peanut, you've got to be careful about flanking like this.
Yeah, he's looking for the wraparound. I wonder whether he's just going to try and steal out the Drake from under their noses. I don't know about that one. As KT move on over, Doran sneaks into the brush.
Peanut just, he gets away.
Just a free Mountain Soul.
I cannot believe the things that Peanut has done in this series and gotten away with. I mean, in all 3 games, it does matter a lot for them too. It's not just about KT.
It increases their odds by a lot. Now, Rich is going to get interrupted as he tries to ult out. Shockwave onto 3, but the Emperor's Divide is going to put the Scion into an awkward position. Decent double knockup, but there's no follow-up. Scion ain't going to find it. Doran also, a bit of a party cast there as Rich was trying to get the kill onto Dove as his zombie self.
He's going to be all right. If they were respawning here for Nongshim, but without their front line, they just cannot fight, and this should be a Baron. Peanut's going to look for the 50-50, and that's all you can hope for, because unfortunately with no front line, this comp just cannot function. It is not going to work. And they don't even have vision.
Yeah, you can see Doran over the wall, looking for Bay right now as Dove comes in. Doctarm's there as well. As you can see, Gideon going for a big old flank. Headbutt pole onto Doran. He's able to get out of there. Dawning Shadow just for good measure.
Just no tanking, no front line.
Oh my goodness, it's like 2 hits. 2 hits with some Sand Soldiers and then a smite and Peanut's dead.
And KT have been playing this game so defensively with the lead they have. They just sit back under Azir turrets in the mid lane.
Well, I mean, after what happened in the mid game, I do not blame them, right?
Sure.
They were very close to throwing this.
Mistake. You win that fight, you have Elder buff, and you push to win the game too.
And they don't have the range to reach these siege minions as well. So War of Attrition obviously just going to be won by KT. As now they're looking to try and turn onto Doran. This is difficult. Gideon right in the area. Cask is decent. Doctarm now feels like it's his chance to go in. Shockwave lands onto nothing, but it doesn't matter. They lock down the Gragas. Now KT in a 4v5 after grabbing themselves the inhibitor in the mid lane. Now 40 seconds on the for the base. But the Elder goes down extraordinarily quickly as Rich. He's looking to try and stop some backs here as well. Bait teleports into the mid lane, and that's just an Elder for free.
I don't actually agree with KT's decision to do this because you're not going to get anything out of this. The timing of this doesn't work out because we're so late into the game. The Elder Drake goes down quickly. I think you had to
damage Bay as well.
You've got to get in there, KT. I mean, what are you going to trade the Baron for the Nexus? You're not going to get there anytime soon. Not even close.
And it just pops. Oh man, there was no way that KT didn't know that that was the case, as Peanut crits the red buff for a massive amount of damage. Yep, they do have empowered backs. As now the Tahm Kench is going to come on in. Gideon maybe overextended just a little bit there as the Phalanx being set up by Nongshim. Peanut into the area. Doran! It was like he threw it, but then tries to save it. Bay with the Shockwave is definitely good though. His Dove misses the Emperor's Divide. I don't think it's going to matter though, as KT looks so extraordinarily strong and Noah still stays alive. Rich looks for him as he has himself the Gargoyle's Stone Plate. Can he get there? The answer is no, as Bay fighting against Zeus, who just licks him to death. That's the ace, and that will be the game for KT.
So much redemption here for Doran after that pick on the bottom side that almost cost KT the game. He has a huge flash cast play to turn things around, and KT Rolster's chance to playoffs. They are small, they are minimal, but they are alive here, Atlas, in this final week of regular season play. What a series! In the end, to end it, we're going to watch this one more time.
Just watch Doran, man. This is the guy that literally just died and gave up Elder Drake. And then he's like, nah, boys, don't worry about it. I got you covered.
And Gideon keeps everybody here. It almost looks like he's going to throw away their potential advantage here, but they're able to stop the backs with the Senna ultimate. And then look who comes through. Doran with the flash play.
Carries.
Massively damaging the carries, forcing the res onto Doctarm, which means that he actually cannot do damage in this fight. While you're in res animation, you're not doing anything. And when he pops out, the fight is already over. Look at where Peanut is, completely zoned out. And what a heroic play from one of the players who has been stuck on this team. I mean, you think about where he was last year and where he is now. He was actually saying, okay, Nuggery's gone. I'm the best top laner in this league. And it's been a far cry from that here in the second round. But this final moment was all about him. Wow.
See, reaching for a hug at the end there as we have a look at the post-game. Dove did a heck of a lot of damage, but have a look at the KT Dipper in the middle of that gold graph. If you're a KT fan, you're used to it. If you were just watching this game, having a look at LCK for the first time, Motion sickness is expected.
Get used to it.
You definitely get used to it.
Yeah.
KT Rolster is the winner of a very long series tonight, and they're keeping their hope alive for the playoffs. Let's take a look at the draft. This is really similar to the one in the game number 2. However, this time around, KT Rolster answered to Nongshim's Kaisa with Senna and Tompkins, whereas in game number 2, actually Senna and Tompkins was countered by Jinx. And Gragas was added to the iteration for game number 3, and after seeing that Kaisa lock in, it was just so comfortable for KT Rolster to just play Senna and Tompkins. And as we saw in game number 3 during the laning phase, even though the KT's bottom duos was not having the best time in game number 1 in the lane, but this time around they were able to exert some pressure in the laning phase. They were able to absorb some gank attempt as well. To step up from the KT bottom duo in this one single day was really on point. And Noah, this is his debut split in the LCK. He was doing a great job on Aphelios and Samira, which means Nongshim was too caught up with those two picks. But actually, those picks were not the problem. I think it was Kaisa not having a really good time. But I want to make a shout out over to Noah because he was doing a fantastic work on these two marksman champions. Nongshim had to target ban those two, and he was able to pop off on a new pick. And once Senna gets super fed, KT Rolster, they didn't really need to dive onto the opponent because Nongshim at the same time they needed to dive onto KT as well, so they could just take the fight and turn it around. However, KT Rolster, because they're on a roller coaster, they were always diving onto the opponents, but still they were able to put up a really great fight. Well, they did make some wrong decision around the Drake team fight, but still they were always there and making Nongshim Red Force flustered. They were always diving onto Nongshim Red Force, making Nongshim super confused, and they got the players disconnected from each other by diving onto one single target. Maybe let's find out if KT Rolster can dive into the playoffs last seed. Now let's take a look at the first highlight where KT Rolster was able to attack the weakness of Nongshim, and they made a great chase. This was a do or die play in order to make it to the playoffs, and they saw Kaisa made her reset, so they are just running. They are trying to find one target, and they found 4 members of Nongshim. Gideon goes straight in and finds Peanut in the backline. He just chases him down forever. And then Gragas was there for a backup, and then Kaisa was there to join the fight, but still Nongshim was so confused and flustered by the move and play made by KT Rolster over here, so they were able to punish those kind of a play that Nongshim made. Prior to this fight, KT Rolster made a big mistake around a dragon fight, but this time around, because of that mistake, they cleaned up their play, and with the help of Senna, who got super fed, they were just able to find the sustainability in terms of a team fight. Well, this game was definitely happening everywhere and it was going back and forth, but KT, by playing this game, they once realized that they have this power to win team fights. Nongshim, however, was able to pick up the Elder and the Baron, but they were not able to close out the game with this play coming out from KT Rolster. I was actually perplexed to see that Senna ultimate to just stop the back, but Gideon, once again, he just dives onto the opponent, and then he just draws the attention of the opponent. Then Gragas goes in for his redemption play, and Kaisa, her GA got popped after doing nothing. And after that, KT Rolster was just falling apart. The point is that even though this was not the best fight for KT Rolster to take, they still went in for it, and they were looking for some opening to end the game. And because KT Rolster saw this kind of an angle that Nongshim didn't see, Nongshim was not able to react to that. Props over to KT Rolster for making it happen. After a very extended series, KT Rolster was able to pick up this win, and the POG will be picked up by Doran. Doran did make some critical mistake, but he was able to make a redemption play, a game-ending one. And nice pick onto Kai'Sa. He had the vision around the opponent AD carry. And Hecarim had a really nice setup for this kill. And Kai'Sa ulted in, but Doran had these eyes on her hand. He was able to find the CC onto her, and this one was the cherry on top for Doran's redemption for sure. Two-man knockup, especially onto the AD carry and the mid laner onto the opponents. Sometimes he went in for an engage onto Alistar, but this time around he found the right target on the right time. At the same time, Gideon, he didn't die once in this game, even after playing this all-day diving Hecarim. Dove was able to pick up 2 votes. Gideon was able to pick up 2 votes, but the rest went over to the pocket of Doran with that Gragas performance.